morning, folks. Welcome back. It is full-time reaction to Celtic 0, Leipzig 2 here at Celtic Park tonight. I've got Darren and Callum with me to go back over the game. Callum, another sobering night in the Champions League. What do you make of that overall?
A reality check, mate. A massive reality check. Man for man, they're better than us all over the park. 24 slagger. Modric was the best I've seen. That boy's up there, honestly. Controlled the game. Even with McGregor, we're getting scalped half him. He's world class, that boy, and he proved it tonight at this level. Physicality is a massive problem for this team. I don't know if you agree, but we struggle, St Mirren. We lose physicality. We really struggle. Motherwell, we struggled here as well because of physicality as well. And again tonight, we've struggled physicality again. And this is, I'm repeating myself, but I'm getting frustrated with every foul we make. The Japanese boys want to hug and kiss folk. Get away from them. Why is the mentality
There's no material
like that?
outcome in the game,
mate,
though.
I get that, right? But the mentality is I don't want to go in and hurt you. See the big boy Siltman, he crunched us.
It's only after. It's only after the fact.
No, I get that. Maeda done it way too much. It was feeble. And see this ducking his head for the ball when he's seen it. You want somebody with a thick neck and bang. He had so many chances. The best word tonight to use in one word: clinical. We are nowhere near clinical. By far, they're a 5-1 aggregate score over 2-1. We've heard that before, just 4 or 5 months ago against Bodo Glimt. We are miles off it in Europe.
Darren, I thought tonight, early doors, it looked like when we didn't have possession, Haksabanovic was up alongside Kyogo, but it meant in the first 20 minutes Leipzig were getting out dead easy. And then we had a spell, same as last week in the away game, about 25 minutes, we probably had our best spell with the first half. Bit of pressure, forced turnovers, got chances, and I think you could look. I can even hear it for people coming out the stadium tonight that it's the same old story in all these Champions League games so far about not taking our chances. But I think when it happens game after game, there's something deeper than that. The team looks like it just lacks the confidence and belief and conviction to take their chances at this level. And it's understandable because it's early doors, but I think that's played out in every game.
It's in their heads now, I think. They're just getting no confidence when it comes to taking chances. You saw Giakoumakis at the end there, when he had a chance, he delayed it, it took forever to hit it. That's just a lack of confidence. And I think that it goes all the way back to, I think, Real Madrid. Like, we were going 4-0 against Rangers, 9-0 against Dundee United. And then after that, we just kept missing chances. And go to what you said, like, Leipzig were on to us. We started really attacking. And like you said, Haksabanovic were up with Kyogo, and the two wingers were pressing so high. Leipzig just pressed it. They're a really good team. They pressed out for there, and the crowd was starting to get nervous like the first 10, 25 minutes, and then it did kind of settle, and we kind of thought, yep, let's get into this game now. And Kyogo gets a golden chance, and again, we miss it again. We go on at half time, and it's kind of on a knife's edge who's going to come out. And it was very even, I thought, the start of the second half, and just to be honest, Leipzig they controlled the game. They never looked under threat, I don't think, apart from the Kyogo chance and that probably Giakoumakis header. Leipzig defended really well, and I thought that they were much better than us. We need to be more ruthless, and I think, Callum, you said that they're aggressive. Like, we lack so much physicality, and I think what the midfielder used to is, when we play in Scotland, they have so much possession, there's so much time on the ball, and they still think they've got that. Hatate gets the ball, and he's looking forward, and the next thing you know, he's got 2 Leipzig players running left and right him, and he's getting dispossessed, and Leipzig just press through it. And because we're playing so high up, it's basically 4 Leipzig players against our 4 defenders. And I think if Carter Vickers and Jens, they two played really well tonight. I thought if they weren't playing tonight, it could have been 4 or 5.
Aye, Callum, what do you make of the atmosphere in there tonight? I thought, like, after the anthem and the You Never Walk Alone, the pre-game stuff, I thought it kind of died a death, and I don't know if that was reflecting the expectations. I think maybe tempered expectations tonight coming into this game, maybe after last week and the results so far.
You're going
the
from
form we're in as well, maybe.
You're going from such a high of the You Never Walk Alone and the light show, and then it's going to the minute silence, right? And then it's trying to get back to that level, and it never really got there. No. We kind of struggled to get. And then when Leipzig came, we had a great chance the first minute. Maeda, I'm sure it is. Maeda has a chance just to put it in,
yeah.
And that is the difference at this level. And it really is. If you get that goal, that place is jumping, and all of a sudden you might get a second from a bit of luck, whatever it is, you might end up getting a chance. When you don't, and the game goes longer and longer, and they're dictating the play, you then run at the risk of going for a goal. You then concede one, and the difference, I've said this before, that's why we have Kyogo and they have Werner. That's the difference quality. Kyogo had a good header in the first half. It was a more difficult chance, to be fair. But Werner's header's just world class. I was right behind it, and it's so nicely done. And that's unfortunately the level that we aspire to try and get to, and our players need to get to if you want to compete at this level.
Aye, Darren, I thought the game in the second half, probably when about the hour mark, got very open. It was almost end-to-end, and I don't think that suited us at all at that time in the game, because again, you just had that feeling that if that went on late in the game and Leipzig got a chance, they were going to punish us, and they did twice.
Well, as Callum said, Timo Werner's a world-class player. Obviously, things didn't work out for him in England, but he's still a top-draw player. And I think, as you said, the game get more open. We had to win that game tonight. Leipzig probably would have settled for a point because now it's guaranteed now they will finish second. Chances are we are going to finish bottom of that group, so we had to come out and have a go. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for us, and it's basically just down to the fact that we're not good enough. They are better than us. Europa League, could we have maybe had a go if we got the last 32? But I mean, even that's pretty much gone now with Shakhtar getting a draw against Real Madrid tonight.
Aye, Callum, it's just, as I said at the top of the video, it's sobering, isn't it? Because I think before the group stage, the form we were in fact we've not been in the Champions League for so many seasons, you were upbeat, but this is where the team's at. And see if you were to say before this group stage, before we played any games, that we're not as good as Leipzig at this stage in Ange Postecoglou's reign, you wouldn't have been surprised. Of course, that's where we are.
I think there's a lot of, and me myself, I've said this as well, is there's been a false sense of like security before these games were played, because we seen obviously what Leipzig were 5 months ago, and they weren't a great side. Marco Rose is the devil to us. He always comes here and cruises it because he knows exactly how we play. We play football to our expenses, then we get caught and teams will punish us. If you sit with 5 at the back, you'll have a better. If we have 5 at the back tonight, I think we pick up a point, but we don't play like that, and it's not in his philosophy or his way. That's why we lose the match tonight. We had a go toe to toe, but you end up getting, you just get pulled apart at that level. One shout out in the positive was Carter Vickers. I thought he was outstanding. Carter Vickers was really good, and Kungu is getting touted for 70, 80, 90 million. He never had a sniff. He couldn't get a sniff. And when you look at the front four of Leipzig, they are very good. They're very good players. And the hard part of that is they all interchange, like how our fullbacks come inverted. They switch a lot of the time. So Sabozli's in, and then he goes out, and Kungu will switch. It's hard to pick up there. But I thought the two boys at the back were actually outstanding today. It was just the middle of the park we suffered. I believe Postecoglou got it wrong. And on the team lineup, I don't think O'Reilly's a sitter. He's nowhere near a sitter. We've seen it at St John's. He's not a sitter.
He looks uncomfortable in there.
Hitati's a great sitter for me, because he's good with the passes out, and he can spray them, and it reserves his energy. When you ask him to play the 8 at this level, after 60 he's done. So you have to manage that and control it. I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen Hitati in that role. Or even a one out there I heard somebody saying is Juranovic. He's got a lot of legs, and he's actually good in the ball, and he plays the inverted fullback role, which then brings him into the middle of the park. So he's played it. I know it's a bit harder.
I think he got tired tonight as well. There's spells in the second half where he just looked absolutely done in.
He did bust a gut in the first half, I thought.
He
does. And that's the reality of where we are, right? Is that we have levels to go. And Postecoglou said when the draw was made is we'll have a go and we'll see where it leaves us. And if we're out at Christmas or we get European football, which is highly unlikely, then we'll see where we are, and we need to improve from that. And if you're not good at this level, we need to keep improving. We need to get to the next level. We can't just settle for that. Right, we'll same team will go next year.
No, absolutely not. Darren, there's obviously a lot of development left before we can really compete at this level. And the way the other results gone tonight, Shakhtar getting a point, us getting 0 points, means it's really, really difficult for us to even get third place now. We need to beat Shakhtar here in a couple of weeks and then try and get something in Madrid to have any chance. So, as we've said, we're just levels to go.
Aye, look, it's not a huge disappointment. Like, compare us to when Ange took over, it was a mess, and we got Europa League and we're lucky to get through that. We're still progressing. Give us till next year, maybe we can have a go in the Champions League and see if we can compete with these teams. Unfortunately, in reality, at this moment in time, it's just not for us. So maybe need to be patient.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year. There you go. Like this video, comment with your own thoughts on tonight's game below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Jump over for Twitter reaction as well. That'll be up shortly. Cheers.